From the new plans for the old Meeting Street bylaw site to height rules to legal fees for 526, City of Charleston Councilman Mike Seekins talks to me one-on-one for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. Well, Councilman Seekins, the last time I saw you actually had a cold.
Yeah, that's right. I feel a lot better. Thank you. I feel a lot better. A little more casual today.
Yes. Speaking of casual, we saw each other at Hall's Chop House a couple of weeks ago.
Great place to be, right? One of the many great restaurants in Charleston. I hope you had a good dinner there. I know they always give you good service, right?
Yeah, they're awesome people.
That's right.
Well, let me turn to some business news.
Plenty of it.
In fact, officials will be actually reviewing the new plans for the Meeting Street bylaw later tonight.
So my understanding actually is perhaps that's going to be pulled from the agenda, but it is something that is out there currently. There's a plan that's been put in place and it's to go in front of the Planning Commission. So, and I know they've had a lot of meetings with the neighborhoods. It's an interesting project.
The 526 legal bills. As you know, City Council approved a resolution just last night that would actually allow Charleston to pay for legal fees encouraged to defend lawsuits during the permitting process of the highway infrastructure improvement, better known as 526.
So that's not what we passed last night, actually. The resolution that we passed is much broader than that.
Okay.
It speaks to the city getting behind the project and committing funds for not just legal fees, but for completing the project.
Okay.
For a project that's not designed, not permitted, we don't know what it's going to cost, and we have a resolution out there now that commits, among other things, West Ashley TIF money to a project that we just don't know anything about. That resolution, to me, my good friend Councilmember Moody calls 526-263 because it's a half-finished road. This resolution is the 263 of resolutions because it's half-baked. It was not the right thing to do, and I voted against it, and has nothing to do with my thoughts about the needs for transportation in West Ashley and around the city. We need relief right away. 526 or 263 is code, not a road. We need to get something done now. But a road that's not designed, not permitted, we have no idea what it's going to cost to build, will not likely be built anytime in the next decade. When we have real transit needs and transportation needs, we need a plan B, we need to move something forward, and we're heading in the wrong direction.
Why get involved at all?
Exactly. I mean, what is the city doing committing monies that we don't have, we don't know that we're going to have, in a resolution that's going to be taken to the State Infrastructure Bank,
right,
basically saying the city's full faith and credit stands behind this. We've got a AAA bond rating. That is gold to the citizens of Charleston. Doing things like this will risk that. If someone goes and reads it, I mean, if you look at that resolution, it is not about legal fees. It says in there that we will commit funds to the completion of the project. And so this whole notion that all we were talking about last night was legal fees, right, is just a small part of it. I feel strongly about this. We need to get after transit today. We need to finish the end of the James Island Connector, flyover Folly Road. We need a 17 and Main flyover. We need to widen Maybank Highway. We need to infill. We need to get across Johns Island and off Johns Island. We need to connect people. None of that is going to happen anytime in the near future if we keep doing things like this.
And I'm reading this article from Channel 2. You said that was incorrect. But let me talk to you about.
I saw that article.
Yeah. Let me talk to you about what Mayor Tecklenburg said. I just saw him a few minutes ago. He actually told Channel 2, quote, "The city tonight is saying we will stand by the side with the county of Charleston to defend a lawsuit in order to get 526 completed."
You need to get a copy of that resolution and read it, and read the last paragraph, which says that the city will commit resources to pay for, among other things, legal fees, and to support the completion of the project. That is far beyond just legal fees. But let's say it is just legal fees.
Okay.
On a project that's not designed and permitted, who knows what's going to happen out there in the future? If it was anything else, I can't imagine the city council voting in favor of a resolution that commits the full faith and credit of the city on a project. We would never do that. And people say, well, this is a non-binding resolution. Well, that resolution now has hit the press. It's in your hands. We're talking about it. It's heading to the SIB. It's going to be out there. It is a statement that I think I would ask my fellow council members to think long and hard about what we're doing in terms of committing the long-term resources of the city to something that is so far off in the future, it is going to inhibit our ability today, tomorrow, and the next day to actually provide real traffic and transit relief in this region and in this city, which we've got to do. We've got to start tomorrow. Where we are now, there's no hope that it's going to start tomorrow. So I just would love to see us get off this debate about 526, not 526. Call it something else, and call it the West Ashley Traffic Relief Act, led by the city, and let's go have let's start some projects.
Let me return to the Charleston City Council again, because obviously you guys approved new height rules and you're doing some changes to design review process. Talk to me more about
It's
that.
very interesting. It's something I think we've needed for a long time. We have a very complicated zoning code. We have a complicated relationship with our BAR because of the complicated zoning code. Applicants for building projects have faced some uncertainties along the way. So the whole aim of this, and we've spent a lot of time doing it, Mayor Riley got it kicked off, Mayor Tecklenburg has picked up and moved it forward. We have a consultant, a very capable consultant. And what we're going to do now is look at form and look at architecture and not have to have people, go in front of the BAR with uncertainties. We're trying to bring certainty to the process. It was a good start. There's a lot of things that need to happen with this ordinance. But the whole idea of making sure the form of the city, the heights of the city are all on scale with what we want to protect here, which is our architecture and the unique built environment that we have, and give certainty to people who want to build things, the developers who we have to partner with as we go and move forward in the city and bring people back into the city living here. So it's a start, it's not an end, for sure. There's a long way to go, but I think we're off to a good start.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the new Market Hotel that's being proposed down there.
You're talking about the Rainbow Market? Which
That's
one?
right.
There's a few hotels over there that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So what goes through my mind about that area specifically, which is, I used to live right in that area, right on Pinckney Street,
Right.
is that the market has changed a lot over the last 10 years. And the market is not a late night entertainment district anymore. You go up King Street is where the late night activity is. The market is a natural place for us to have, I think, an accommodations focus. And I think the Rainbow Market is one of several projects that will bring that focus to the market area. And I think it's the right place for it. We just need to make sure that in the right place, we have the right projects, that we focus very acutely, laser-like focus on how we're going to move people around. We've talked about this before. We're at 6 million visitors a year into the city of Charleston. All of them at some point are coming into downtown Charleston. We need to make sure that we just don't flood ourselves with people and don't have anywhere to move them. And that right now, I think, is our problem. So the market is a natural place to, I think, focus our accommodations energies, make sure we do it right. And the project you asked me about really is one of several, I think, that will end up down there on the market.
And when people come into downtown Charleston, they obviously see the eyesore, which people call Sergeant Jasper.
Sergeant Jasper has been a long battle. Looks like it's coming to an end. The resolution is what it is.
Wow. Well, Councilman Mike Seekings, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.